She's a mystery to me. What's up, buddy? It's what a Jim. And I'm joined by Bryer's Music Showcase once again. And I'm also joined by a first-time guest on my channel, being Steve, aka All the World's a Stage. And we're going to be reviewing the 1989 Roy Orbison album, Mystery Girl. Yeah, right. I've got the CD there. I've got the vinyl behind me, and you've got the vinyl as well.
Yeah, this is a bad at this time of the year because this room faces south. So during the winter months, this is a bad time of the year for light coming in because those blinds are rather sheer. So that's why I have to kind of move around here. I'll have to adjust my position as the sun does the same.
Yeah.
It's freezing cold where I live at the moment.
I bet. Yeah.
Not too bad here today. I mean, I was outside doing some yard work. I think it's like 60 degrees here.
Yeah, I think it's the same in probably 70 in San Diego right now.
56 here, but all this week we're going to be 55 to 60, which is really warm here for what's going to be the second week of November. No, really starting the third week. Yeah. So, all right, Adam, what do you want to do here? You're the boss.
Well, first of all, for people watching, if you're not subscribed to Bryer and Steve, please go ahead and do so. I've got their channels linked in the description below. And I've seen you recently passed 600 subscribers, Steve.
I did. I'm just
Congrats.
Right above it. I'm at like 602. So some days it'll drop to like 598 and then it'll creep back up. It's funny the way YouTube works. I given up trying to figure it out. So, I mean, yes, everybody would love to have thousands and thousands of subs, but that's not the reason why I do it. It's for things like this, this kind of interaction. So,
yeah. And you're on 1,700 now, Bryer.
Yeah, just recently got 1,700, but kind of in the same boat where I just got it, so it's kind of not sure if it's gonna stick because it's like because some days it's 704, some days it's 703, so we'll see what happens.
How long you been posting videos?
The channel it's about 3 years old, but I didn't start posting videos regularly about 2 years ago.
Okay. Oh, you've done very well then. 1,700 in 2 years' time.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming your age also, you're all over Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, everything. mostly Instagram, and I even have a TikTok as well. But I don't really, and I do have a Facebook, but I don't really go on it as much.
Yeah. Yeah, I really don't do any. Oh, there's Mike from MGK Boston.
Greetings, Mike.
I guess he's not.
Mike there. Did you see that, Mike?
I don't know if Mike is watching the Patriots getting beaten up or not. I don't know. So.
Well, I guess we'll now review the Roy Orbison Mystery Girl album. It's his 22nd album, and it, of course, came out in 1989. It was the 31st of January, to be exact, and it was produced by all sorts of people. Mike Campbell from Tom Petty the Heartbreakers, also Jeff Lynne, Bono from U2, and Roy Orbison as well. And the album's 38 minutes long, and the label for the album was Virgin. It was Roy Orbison's last album. It released just after he passed away in December of 1988. And how we'll do this is we'll go through each song and then give the album a score out of 10 and possibly quickly rank the songs as well. But we'll begin with the first track, being you got it. You can go first, Steve, then Bryer, and then myself. What do you think of this song? You got it.
Let's see. Well, You've Got It. I have that ranked as my second favorite song on the album, and what my notes say is it is essentially an ELO song with Roy Orbison singing. It just has Jeff Lynne's fingerprints all over it. It's a great song. I understand why they made it the single, because it's just that kind of song. You listen to it and it'll be stuck in your head for the rest of the day. So
Yeah, yeah, I second that. Like, I think I had it as my third favorite, and like Steve said, like, yeah, you can tell Jeff Lynne produced this, sound of the drums and all that stuff. And of course, the string arrangements. But on that, I think it's still a really great song. Definitely a good way to open the album, and definitely a good choice as the single. Just has this very uplifting sound, which I dig quite a bit. Of course, by this point, Roy still sounds very good. He still sings, has a really great voice, and that pretty much carries out throughout the whole album. But yeah, this was a really good opening song.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely one of the better songs on the album, and I think it was a perfect way of opening it as well. Yeah, it's one of Maury's more catchier songs, and yeah, it's a very ELO sounding one as well. And Mike agrees too that it sounds quite ELO-y. They just played in Germany earlier today and lost. I know. I've not really got too much else to really say about the song. I don't really think if I've got any problems with it. I think it's a perfect album opener. Yeah, it's one of Roy's classic songs. And then we got the second track being "In the Real World," which I always call it the sequel to "In Dreams." It sort of
yeah,
follows on that song.
yeah, that's a good analogy. Am I up again? I'm going first
Yep.
again. Okay, so it's just going to keep going around the horn. Okay. In the real world, I have it as my 8th favorite. Um, it's just almost too sad, and maybe that's why I rank it so low. I don't know. I mean, there's not a bad song on this album, so to have this ranked as 8th, it's not like being 8th on another album where you're thinking, okay, that is really a bad song. This is not a bad song. It just falls in 8th place on this album. So
Yeah, I have this at 7th place. Um, yeah, it's a slower song. Yeah, but I still really enjoy the strings on it. I prefer the chorus a bit more than the verses, personally. But yeah, it's still a very nice song and decent way to follow up the first one. So, still a very good song. And I agree. I don't think there's a bad song on this album. It just comes down to there's just some songs I like more on this album.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the shades off. There we go. I can see better now. I might have a drink as well.
Talk better now.
Yeah, I could talk better as well.
You talk me.
But I love the song "In the Real World." It's not. It's probably a song that I don't listen to on this album though. It's a very different sounding song to "You Got It." You Got It's a very upbeat, happy sounding song, and in the real world, is basically the complete opposite. But I think it's a really beautiful song. But yeah, it's probably mid tier me on the album.
yeah.
Then we got the third track, "All I Can Do Is Dream You," one of the more rockier songs on the album.
Would you say one of the more what?
Rockier songs on the
Rockier?
album.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the difference, the old saying, we're two countries separated by the same language, That's a very British saying. Here we very few people use that. But I'm going to say this is my third favorite. To me, the highlight of this song it's the bass. The bass makes this song. I just love the bass line in that and the tone. That's what does it for me, for Dream You.
Yeah, this was another pretty good song. I, I can see this going up more. I have it at number 5, but yeah, it's like really good. Definitely one of the more upbeat songs on the album. Definitely has a more rock feel to it. Some great guitar playing on here, some all around, and yeah, I agree with Steve. The bass was pretty great on this track, and of course, I play bass a little bit, so I'm always looking for those type of stuff. But yeah, this is a good song.
Yeah, I think it's a very good song, but in my opinion, I think it's one of Roy's more overrated songs. It's actually my least favorite song on the album, but I still really enjoy it though. But it's not one of my favorite upbeat Roy Orbison songs. I'd probably go with "Oh Pretty Woman" or the first track "You Got It" instead. But yeah, I still really like it.
No, there's not many songs.
I like the vocals on that one.
Yeah, there's not many songs by Roy Orbison or anyone else that are up there with "Pretty Woman."
Yeah.
You know,
it's a classic. Yeah.
And up next with "A Love So Beautiful."
Yeah, one of the ballads on the album.
I put this at number 9. I think you can tell I prefer Roy a little more on the rock side than I do the ballad side. But on this song, you can really tell that's Jeff Lynne playing the keyboards.
Yeah.
To me, that's the standout instrument on this song. It's what I hear when I listen to it. So I put that at number 9.
That's fair. Yeah. For me, I know Adam knows this, and a couple people I know knows this. I'm a sucker for ballads. I always enjoy a good ballad. And this was definitely a really good one. This was actually my favorite song on the album, honestly. But yeah, it's just a really good slow song. The strings on here, I just really love it, and the keyboard sounds just really add to the whole feel of it. And Roy's vocals on here, probably my favorite on this album. Just he sounds terrific on here. Yeah, it still has the Jeff Lynne touch to it, but it didn't really bother me on this track. But yeah, this was a good song. This was probably my highlight on the album.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. It makes the top 3 on the album for sure. Yeah, I think it's a fantastic song, and I think one of Roy's better vocal performances as well. Yeah, he's definitely got the Jeff Lynne production, but I think it goes really really well with it.
Where do you rank it, Adam, on this album?
On this album, it's my number 3.
It's your number 3.
But it's also in my top 10 Roy Orbison songs.
Oh, okay.
But my top 4 tracks on this album are all my top 5. Are all my top 10 Roy Orbison songs. That goes to show how much I love this album. And then the final track on the first side, which is actually my favorite track on the album, and that's California Blue.
It is also my number 1 track, California Blue. I love the percussion on this song, the wooden blocks. To me, the highlight of it is when he hits that part and he goes, "One sunny day." I mean, that's a goosebump moment for me during that song. So, yeah, I just love the song.
Yeah, same here. This was my second favorite, and of course, I'm gonna be biased towards this song because it has California in the title, and yeah, I live in California, so it's gonna play a role. But yeah, this was a really good song. Again, just a good vibe to it. Strings and the keyboards just again add great texture. And another piece of texture on this album was that during the chorus, there's like this percussion sound like that, like that. I don't know what type of percussion instrument that was, but that's just a nice little touch they put. It didn't need to be there, but it's kind of nice that it's there. But yeah, this was another big standout on this album.
That part reminds you of the Elvis Presley song "It's Now or Never." It always reminds you of that.
Yeah, it's kind of the same cadence. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I think California Blue is amazing and one of my favorite Roy Orbison songs. Yeah, I think it sounds amazing. It's really really good here, and I just love every single thing about this song. When I saw Roy Orbison tribute, the guy who played Roy Orbison, this was his favorite Roy Orbison song. I can see why. Yeah, it's a perfect track. I can't really say much else about it. I can only say good things about this one.
So
And then move on to the second side with the track "She's a Mystery to Me." I guess you could call it the title track on the album.
Yeah. This is a song that U2 has their hands in, and
yeah,
me, I give it I rank it number 7. And actually, when I'm sitting here thinking, it probably could even be lower, but I would probably have to give the album another spin again. Sit and listen to them and give each one a grade as I sat and listened to it, but it's certainly in that neighborhood of 7 or 8. So,
Right. Yeah. This one definitely has a different feel to the rest of the album, because Bono produced it, and it definitely sounds like a song that Bono would make. But I thought it was pretty good. I had it at number 6, so it just barely missed the top 5. But it has a pretty interesting rhythm to it. Again, it has a different guitar sound. Again, comparing to the rest of the album, I really enjoyed the bass playing on here. It's just a very interesting vibe, and I really enjoy the high notes that Roy does towards the end. I thought that was a nice way to close the song. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
I've heard the whole Mystery Girl album three times in total. I've only heard it once this year, but I think "She's a Mystery" to me is another brilliant song on this album. It's my second favorite song on the album.
Okay.
One of the reasons why I love it so much is the story behind it. The fact that Bono was just having just chewing his head, which he was thinking was a Roy Orbison song, but he found that it wasn't, and yeah, he made up the song. And when he met Roy Orbison, he gave it to him. Yeah, I think it's a perfect track. I've got nothing else to really say about it.
Yeah, I feel like that song's gonna be a grower on me. I think.
Yeah, my favorite part of the song is the vocals at the end of it. Yeah. Really, really good stuff there. Then the second track on the second side is "The Comedians," which the beginning part of the song reminds me of the Roy Orbison song "Running Scared."
Yeah, with those drums, yeah. For me, it's the worst song on the album. It's my number 10, and I don't know if that's because I'm not much of an Elvis Costello fan, and he wrote it. So I don't know if that's it, but for whatever reason, the song just falls where it does. I know I'm not wild about the melody. It just seems kind of maudlin, but I guess when you look at the lyrics, maudlin is the tempo you had to go with for this song. It wasn't going to be an upbeat number, but that's where it is for me, number 10.
Yeah, I agree. It's my number 10 as well.
Yeah.
It's one of the slower songs. Usually I'm a sucker for that type of stuff, but this is definitely one of those where it didn't really do a whole lot for me. There's some strings on here, which was nice. And it has a kind of a marching type of drum sound to it. But I thought the slow parts didn't really go anywhere. And even when it did start to build up, it didn't really end on a very satisfying thing. And then it goes back into the slow bit. But it's not a horrible song, but yeah, it's just this one compared to everything else, this one kind of resonated with me the least. So yeah, this was okay.
It's my second least favorite on the album. I like it, but yeah, I personally maybe would have got rid of this song on the album and possibly gone with a Joe One Night instead. Yeah, but I still like it. It's just not one of my favorite tracks on the album. It's definitely one of the more filler tracks on the album.
Mm-hmm.
The third track on the second side is called "The Only One."
Yep, and I have this. This makes number 4 for me, and I think what really sells it for me with this song is the Memphis horns, they're a nice touch on this song. I think that really helps kind of bring this song to life. So it is number 4 for me.
All right. I agree once again. This is also my number 4. Yeah, all the reasons you just said it. Yeah, the horns, definitely great. I love a good horn section in the track. Even the guitar textures that throughout this track were very nice. Again, adding extra nice little ear candy throughout. And I love the organ sound. I thought the organ was pretty good as well. It's another one of those slower songs, but this one definitely has a feel that I would resonate with. So yeah, this was another pretty good standout.
Yeah, I love this one as well. It's quite a modern sounding song. I can imagine if Roy Orbison was still around today, and then this was released, it would sound very good today. But yeah, I love the song. The only one. I really like the lyrics of the song as well. Yeah, and then the penultimate track on the album is Windsurfer. What do you guys think of that one?
Windsurfer, even before I started doing my ranking, I thought for sure this would be really high. And I'm kind of surprised it came in at number 5 for me. I thought it would have been 3 or 4. But, I listened to the album 2 times this week just to make sure I had my rankings right. So this falls in at number 5. I mean, it's a nice kind of breezy song. I love that slide guitar in there. So yeah, it's number 5 for me.
Okay. I thought the song was okay. This one I ranked at number 9. I just thought it kind of standard. Didn't really do a whole lot. I kept getting Beach Boys vibes for some reason. I guess because it has Surfer on the title. And also it just sounds like a song that the Beach Boys would make around this time. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but just didn't really resonate with me as well. But so yeah, it was okay, but not one of my favorites.
Yeah, I'd say lyrically it's a pretty weak song, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I didn't even know what windsurfing was until I heard this song.
Yeah.
We don't really get windsurfing here in the UK.
Yeah,
But
I've never done it, so.
I really like this track, but it's one of my least favorites on the album as well. Not really got too much to say about it. It's a case we've got a lot of these songs and not really got too much to say, but yeah, it's one of the weaker songs on the album. But I still think it's very good though. But before we talk about the final track on the album, what do you guys think of the Mystery Girl album cover?
All right, the final song I have at number 6. To me, it could have been maybe a little bit lower, but to me, what elevates the song, it's the keyboards, Ben Montench. You've heard him playing on your Highway Companion album you showed. So that is where that comes in at number 6.
Okay. Yeah, for me, I had a number 8. That was a solid way to close out the album. I liked the piano on it. Very pleasant sounding. But again, didn't really do anything too out there. It's just a nice, pleasant way to close out. Nothing big, nothing too big, nothing too small. It's just a nice way to kind of put a little bow on this album. So again, it was number 8, but still, it was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty awesome track. I think it's one of the more underrated songs on the album. I think it's a brilliant way of ending the album, in my opinion. And it's my 5th favorite song on the album.
Okay.
But before we give the album an overall score, the album cover, Mystery Girl, I quite like it.
Yeah, I just recently realized, it was literally just this morning I realized that this is supposed to be, you can flip it.
Yeah.
So that
very interesting.
Yeah. I liked it. Pretty simple, but I can kind of see where they're going with it.
Right. And gatefold. Looks just like Adam there when he had his sunglasses on.
Yeah, exactly. Hey,
So
you don't get them. You don't get them a CD.
From what I gathered here, clear cut on both ends. Number one, our favorite songs. We had 2 1s and a 2 to the favorite song, and then our least favorite song, we had 2 10s and a 9. So it's pretty obvious where we felt about the best and the worst on this album.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys rate this album out of 10?
You go ahead first, Bryer.
Okay. This album really grew on me the more I hear it. I think the first time I thought, oh, it's pretty good. I liked it. But I think I listened to like 3 times preparing for this, and I think it got better with each listen. So I think I'm going to give this an 8.5 out of 10. Very solid album. Glad I got it.
I got this when it came out, so I've lived with it a long time because it's hard to believe this is almost 35 years old.
Yeah.
So it was an album I liked initially off the bat. If I'm going to, how many albums did you say he had, Adam? Did you say 22?
Yeah, 22.
Okay, I only own 6 of them. I own this and his first 5. So if I'm judging it, against the rest of the stuff in his career, I'd probably put it right in the middle there at 3 or 4 for that. But if I'm judging him against the rest of his peers and other albums, I'd probably be right about where you're at, Bryer, an 8.5. Yeah,
cool.
If you could take the comedians off it and put on another song of the quality of the other 9, I might give it a 9. So
for me, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
you're giving it a 10.
Yeah, it's in my top 50 albums.
So all of your top 50 albums get a 10.
Yeah, they all get a 10 out of 10 for me.
You're giving this because what's your favorite album?
My all-time favorite album is Abbey Road.
Abbey Road. Okay, yeah. So you're giving this the same score as Abbey Road.
Yeah,
Wow.
That's just how I roll.
Own it. Well, you just own it.
If Roy were around, he'd probably give you a hug for that. That's pretty high praise because you're putting it up there with Blonde on Blonde.
Yeah.
And you can't put it there with Blonde on Blonde, Adam. It's like I said, the lyrics for Windsurfer. Bob Dylan's not writing lame lyrics like that.
No, but it's my third favorite album of the 1980s.
This is your third favorite of the 80s?
My second favorite is Full Moon Fever. And my favorite is Traveling Wilburys Volume 1.
Okay. Well, Sam St. John would like it for that,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, before I share my ranking of the songs, do you guys think this album is underrated, overrated, or properly rated?
Well, I think by you it's overrated. But that's your own personal taste, so that's fine. I personally couldn't give it a high score as Abbey Road, no way, or Blonde on Blonde. But I don't know. I mean, I seem to remember the critics loved it, and I'm not going to argue against that. I mean, it's an album I like. I'm not going to say it's an album I play very often, but it is a solid album. I mean, I haven't, like I said, outside of the comedians, I really have no complaint with this album. I mean, it sounds great, catchy tunes, everything you'd want out of an album.
I think it's called The Comedian because of me giving the album a 10 out of 10.
Maybe.
You, Bryer, you think it's overrated?
Yeah, for me, it's definitely a tough question because this is actually the first Roy Orbison album I've listened to in full. I know his hits, but I never delved into a full album.
Right.
So yeah, for a first Roy Orbison album, I thought it was pretty good. Maybe I'll check out more of his albums just so I can get a better way to compare. But yeah, I really enjoyed this album still, and yeah, 8.5 is a pretty good score. Don't know if I would say overrated, but I wouldn't say underrated either. I think it's pretty fine for where it is.
Yeah, I think it's probably rated as well. Even though there's probably a few people in the world that would give this album a 10 out of 10. I'm one of those people.
I would say, though, after this exercise, it makes me want to get some more of his albums because, like I say, I only have the first 5, which came in a box set, and this album. And why I never went back from this album, I don't know, because as much as I like this album, I should have bought the album that came out before it just to see what it sounds like. So I am going to get that album, whichever album that is that preceded this, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, I'll go through my ranking of the songs on the album quickly. Like my number 10 is All I Can Do Is Dream You. My number 9 is The Comedians. 8, Windsurfer. 7, In the Real World. 6, The Only One. 5, Careless Heart. 4, You Got It. 3, The Love So Beautiful. 2, Choose a Mystery to Me, and 1, California Blue.
Very nice. Guess I'll go through mine real quick. Number 10, I had The Comedians. Number 9, Windsurfer. Number 8, Careless Heart. Number 7, In the Real World. Number 6, All I Can Do Is Dream You. Number 5, A Mystery to Me. Number 4, The Only One. Number 3, You Got It. Number 2, California Blue. And number 1, A Love So Beautiful.
Nice.
All right. Well, I didn't know you were going to call on me, so I had crumpled this up and threw it in the garbage. So let me see if I can make this out here. Okay, number 10, The Comedians. Number 9, Love So Beautiful. Number 8, In the Real World. Number 7, She's a Mystery to Me. Number 6, Careless Heart. Number 5, Windsurfer. Number 4, One and Only. Number 3, All You Can Do Is Dream You, or All I Can Do Is Dream You. Number 2, You Got It. And number 1, California Blue.
Nice. I'm just currently looking through my top 50 albums. I might as well mention some of them that I give a 10 out of 10. Pink Floyd, the Dark Side of the Moon gets a 10 out of 10.
As it should.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Got quite. I'm not sure which. Should I really list all my top 50? It's gonna be here all day if I do that.
Yeah, probably not. Just give us the highlights.
Yeah. My favorite solo Beatles album, All Things Must Pass. I don't include the third disc. If we're including the third disc, I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10.
No, that's fair.
Also got Imagine by John Lennon in there as well. And Ram by Paul McCartney. I've got one Ringo album that I give a 10 out of 10. That's Time Takes Time.
I haven't heard that one.
Which I might do an album review at some point on. But I think that they're all ones I'll give for this live stream. That I enjoyed reviewing this album and going through every track. I appreciate you coming on again, Bryer, and thanks for joining on my live streams.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thanks for the invite, Adam.
Yeah, nice meeting you, Steve. Yeah, nice meeting you.
Yep.
So I guess I might as well conclude it now. Do you guys have any final words?
Not really. We're no comedians.
You got it. You got it. Yeah.
Yep.
Are you done recording?
I will be in a few seconds.
Oh,
Until next time, everyone. Peace out and ciao.
I don't know what happened.